Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wally, for your very special welcome. As a traditional owner, a custodian, and a land and a knowledge holder, you're also a knowledge sharer. And I sort of feel that, particularly since I've taken on this role, that you may not realise it, but you have become you are one of my teachers in terms of understanding Ngunnawal country and the place that I get to call home. So I just wanted to really thank you, because every time I get the chance to get a welcome from you, I feel like I learn more and I understand this country more. And so I just wanted to really thank you personally. And as I begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners on the land in which we meet here today, the Ngunnawal people. I acknowledge and respect their continuing culture and contribution to the land, to the life of this city and this region. I pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. I recognise that we do meet here on stolen land, and this was, is and always will be Aboriginal land. I'd also like to acknowledge that First Nations people have been farming this land for thousands of years, and their knowledge of holistic, resilient land and water management is invaluable as we face growing ecological and climate challenges. We're really fortunate here in the ACT to have such a diverse range of ecosystems and organisms, along with talented and dedicated people across all sectors working to support and maintain our local biodiversity. The significance of pollinators in the ACT cannot be overstated, from the sturdy, rare garden carpenter bee to the iconic, hard-working blue-banded bee. Our floral emblem, the royal bluebell, takes its distinctive shape and colour from its need to attract the bees that pollinate it. I'm really happy to be here today as the Minister for the Environment. There was a little hiccup because I was supposed to be in Perth, but fortunately that got cancelled, so I'm here instead. In that role of Minister for Environment, I have responsibility for the ACT's biodiversity and ecological connectivity. But that's something that I'm not going to be able to do on my own. I need lots of people to help and actually to be doing the work. And many of the speakers that are scheduled here today have really significant expertise in this area and are really passionate about the role of pollinators in preserving our region's biodiversity. In reflecting on the fantastic welcome to country that Wally just gave us on behalf of the Ngunnawal people, it's really important to reflect that the acknowledgement of country seems to especially important in the context of today's event, when we're really talking about how we do a better job of recognising that we're not separate from the natural world but part of it. When we think about how we claw back what we have lost in this beautiful, unique, wonderful country, and how we can prevent further losses in biodiversity and ecosystems, specifically the role of pollinators, and how important it is for us to create the right urban design to support them. Today we are going to hear, unfortunately not in person, from Sophie Lewis, the Commissioner for Sustainability and Environment, and she'll be speaking about biodiversity and urban design. I understand we will also have in attendance Dr. Maxine Cooper, Chair of Landcare Australia, and Professor Thierry Courage, the Science and Higher Education Attaché from the Embassy of France. I'd really like to thank Act for Bees for their hard work in bringing together so many wonderful speakers and hosting such a great range of guests. I am personally really grateful for the excellent work done by Act for Bees in supporting Canberra and the surrounds. Their wide-ranging educational programs, extensive community engagement, and depth of knowledge have provided us with valuable support and direction for policy and growth. It's a real privilege to be asked to speak today to such an audience and to be in the company of such great presenters. Canberra is a green and growing city. We are here today in Ginninderry, one of the newest suburbs in the ACT. However, this land has a long and diverse history, being of deep cultural and spiritual significance for the Ngunnawal community, and more recently settled for agriculture and used for arts and community groups. Now it will be home to many more Canberrans who want to make their life here. We will need to ensure that we support healthy, lively, sustainable cities into the future. The ACT government works to serve the people and its landscape, building in capacity to preserve local biodiversity. The 10th Greens Labor Parliamentary and Governing Agreement calls on us to better protect remnant grasslands, woodlands and key waterways as nature reserves or similar protective zonings, as well as establishing a wildlife corridor program. We're working towards this, and it's a real pleasure to be doing this with the assistance and support of so many skilled local people and groups. The ACT is fortunate to have an abundance of local pollinators and a healthy network of beekeepers. There's more than 900 beekeepers in the ACT, supported by our straightforward registration system and powerful biosecurity programs, which prevent the spread of bee diseases such as American foul brood. This is clearly indicative of broad community engagement with beekeeping and biodiversity, which I'm glad to see we are really celebrating here today. The fundamental importance of bees to the future of the ACT requires us all to be aware of the extent on which we depend on our pollinators. Again, the Parliamentary and Governing Agreement also highlights the value of innovative urban and peri-urban agriculture, which cannot be done without the support of pollinators. Our location and our capacity for local practice uptake and networking will drive our future food security and sustainability. Our future is in the hand of pollinators and those who protect them. The Environment Planning and Sustainable Development Directorate is beginning to develop a new agriculture policy for urban and rural land in the ACT, and will be engaging with key stakeholders such as yourselves on this critical issue. This policy will set a vision to deliver an inclusive, collaborative and evidence-based strategy for the development and future-proofing of an innovative, diverse food and agriculture production system in the ACT, with a strong foundation in social equity, long-term viability and ecological sustainability. To support the activities of pollinators, we aim to introduce industrial regulation to ensure safe and reduced use of pesticides, insecticides and herbicides in the ACT, as well as paying careful attention to potential off-target impacts of chemical use. This will enable not only safe beekeeping, but the security and well-being of our native pollinators. We act to support our pollinators by reducing threats as well as providing habitat. In recent challenging times, we've faced many threats to our biodiversity. The bushfires, just over a year ago, impacted Namadgi National Park and filled our city with smoke. Our admirable response to COVID-19 kept us all inside, challenging our ability to connect and appreciate nature. And now, with recent flooding, we've seen topsoil removed and trees brought down, disturbing the resources that are required for our pollinators for food and habitat. We do need to work together to ensure that the future is safe and bright, and events like these ones share and enable the knowledge that underpins our work. This conference provides a wonderful opportunity for those who have been working in this space to share their expertise and build their skills and the understanding we'll need to move forward. Each one of you represents an aspect of our capacity to build a healthy ACT, home to many pollinators and host to great biodiversity. Thank you so much for coming, and I really hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.